I asked Ali Mayorkas, explain to me how we improve our schools by packing our classrooms with non-English speaking students, how we improve access to health care by packing emergency rooms with illegals demanding care, how do we help working families by flooding the labor market with cheap illegal labor, how do we help Americans by consuming our social services on this unprecedented mass illegal migration? And he had no answers.
Let me take you home to the Golden State. This is Jimbo in Bakersfield, Independent. Good morning.
Good morning, John, and good morning, Congressman McClintock. Hey, congratulations on being again reelected and a member of the 118th Congress. But I think you're going to have the reputation of being the first Congress in the United States history to default on the national debt. And the reason why I think that's going to happen is I don't think Congressman McCarthy has the votes to pull off raising the debt ceiling. I think there's going to be way too much overreach. I think you folks are going to use it as a bargaining token when you should not. And I think you have members of your own party who will not support it. So I just wanted to bring forth the fact that I think you're going to have that with you. Thank you for the opportunity. Brian Lamb, you're my hero.
Well, thank you for the warning. The warning's well taken. When Republicans had a majority, we got a bill through actually 2 sessions that I had authored that protected us from default in the event that there is an impasse on a budget bill. It allowed principal and interest on the national debt to continue to be paid, notwithstanding the debt limit. Unfortunately, the Democrats killed it in the U.S. Senate.
Coatesville, Pennsylvania. David, Democrat. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. I was just wondering, there was 2 questions I had. One on FEMA. Why does it make it so hard that people get flooded out, damage and everything like that, and we can't get our money? We got to go through so much paperwork to get our money. But yet if another country has an earthquake or, God forbid, a mudslide or something, they send money right away without no questions. But we still haven't got money from Ida that is due to us that we're fighting for. And also with Social Security, you guys only got to do 1 term and you can retire and you get a pension. We got to work 60 years just to make a few dollars, and you want to cut that away from us. It's a shame. I don't know why that you can't give us the cost of living every year, just like you get one. So
well, first of all, I mean, the premise is completely wrong. Congress has not had a raise now in 14 years. I'm making the same today as the day when I was elected in 2008. And as far as a lifetime pension after a year of service, no, members of Congress get the same federal pension as any other federal worker. It does vest after, I believe, 5 years. That's the only difference.
FEMA was the other question.
Oh, and FEMA is you're absolutely right about that. I've been so frustrated with what we've seen out of that agency under both the Trump and the Biden administrations. We had the Caldor fire in my district. It took out the entire town of Grizzly Flats, and we had one earlier, the Creek Fire. FEMA denied individual assistance to both of those communities. When Donald Trump was president, a single call to Donald Trump, though, changed that. He overrode FEMA and released those funds. In the Caldor fire, Joe Biden actually came there during the fire, promised full federal assistance to these families, and has not yet fulfilled that promise despite many, many requests. And that's a great frustration.
About 10 minutes before the House comes in, 9 a.m. Eastern, and we'll, of course, take you there, gavel to gavel when they do. Sharpsburg, Georgia. Dick is an independent. Good morning.
Good morning. My hero, Tom McClintock. How you doing?
Well, thank you.
I used to have a paper imprimis by Hillsdale College that you spoke at, and it was a real eye-opening paper about what happened to the filibuster. And in 1975, by a Democrat that put the 2-track system in, that you can filibuster over a telephone call, and that's it. They put it on the shelf if they agree, and then they move on to something else. Explain to the people the two-track system and why it screwed up the filibuster so badly. And also, I believe that we should have 25% import taxes on every item from toothpicks to bulldozers coming into this country to pay our national earmark, to pay our national debt. Thank you, Tom. Love
Thank you very much.
listening to you.
I'm impressed you remember that paper. It was several years ago. But I just went through the history of the filibuster. It arises from a fundamental parliamentary principle, and that is if a significant minority wants to continue a debate, that debate should continue. That's the whole purpose of a legislative body, to deliberate, to share views. The point of the minority is to try to convince the minority to its way of thinking, or at least to alert the majority to flaws in their plan so that those flaws can be fixed. That requires debate and discussion, and that is at the heart of the filibuster. But that principle assumes it is a real debate among real people over the issue at hand. And that was changed in the 1970s by Mike Mansfield to essentially avoid all the fuss and bother of actually debating a bill and simply pretend that you're debating it, and that is what we're dealing with today. I took that to Mitch McConnell when we were in the majority in both the House and the Senate, and we had the White House, and said, we really need to reform this. And his response was, well, it was very useful to stop bad legislation when we were in the minority. And my argument was, well, you're in the majority right now. This is you're not going to be a successful majority with this process in place. That's essentially what the Democrats are arguing now in the Senate. But I have to say, he was very resolute. When he could have changed it, he didn't. And it really has, I think, at the moment, saved the republic. The left's been very clear on their objectives: pack the Supreme Court with new seats, pack the Senate with new states, open the borders, rig the election laws the way they are in California, and bypass the Electoral College with this compact of the states. Without the filibuster, that can be done by majority vote. And so the fact that has held means that perhaps Mitch McConnell was right on that.